Welcome to Damango, a small fishing village on the coast of Uganda land. For generations, the villagers have lived in harmony with the sea, their lives shaped by its rhythms and moods. But amidst this tranquil existence, whispers of a hidden treasure have long been circulating. The story begins on a sweltering sunny morning, as Akpalu, a poor but resourceful fisherman, sets out to catch the day's quota. His worn wooden boat bobs gently on the waves, his eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of life beneath the surface. The villagers have grown accustomed to Akpalu's tales of underwater adventures, and some even call him a legend. But few take him seriously. As Akpalu dives into the water, his thoughts turn to Esenam, the beautiful woman who has captured his heart for years. She flits about the village like a butterfly, her laughter carrying on the breeze. Yet whenever he tries to approach her, she vanishes into thin air, leaving him with nothing but a lingering sense of disappointment. Akpalu's gaze drifts back to the sea, and he feels an inexplicable pull, as if something is calling to him from beneath the waves. He spends the rest of the day fishing, but his mind remains fixated on the ocean's depth. That evening, he decides to take a boat out to explore a nearby reef, where rumors of hidden caves have long been whispered among the villagers. As the sun sets, casting a golden glow over the water, Akpalu paddles his boat toward the reef. The sea grows darker, and the stars begin to twinkle like diamonds scattered across the sky. He dives into the water, his heart pounding with excitement, and descends into the unknown. The darkness envelops him, and he feels a sense of weightlessness, as if he's floating in midair. His eyes adjust slowly, and he catches glimpses of glittering shells, shimmering schools of fish, and the skeletal remains of ancient trees. The reef drops away, revealing a yawning cavern that seems to stretch on forever. Akpalu's breath catches in his throat as he steps into the cave, his senses overwhelmed by the darkness. The air is stale, heavy with the scent of age and decay. He fumbles for his flashlight, turns it on, and begins to explore the vast, echoing space. The cave stretches out before him like a labyrinth, its walls adorned with strange symbols and markings that seem to hold secrets of their own. Akpalu's mind reels as he discovers ancient artifacts, mysterious devices, and cryptic inscriptions etched into the stone. He feels like a kid in a candy store, his eyes wide with wonder and awe. As the hours pass, Akpalu becomes increasingly obsessed with uncovering the cave's secrets. He spends days exploring every nook and cranny, documenting his findings, and piecing together the history of this forgotten place. The villagers begin to notice changes in him. He's distant, preoccupied, and seems to be hiding something. But Akpalu doesn't care. He's found what he's been searching for all these years, and nothing will stop him from uncovering its secrets. Meanwhile, in the village, Esenam is keeping a low profile, watching Akpalu's every move with great interest. She's not one to be trifled with, and she knows that if she can get close enough to the treasure, her fortunes will change forever. The thought of working with Kofi, the wealthy businessman who has been sniffing around Damango for months, is a tantalizing prospect. As Akpalu finally discovers the location of the treasure, an ancient chest filled with gold, jewels, and mysterious artifacts, Esenam sees an opportunity too good to pass up. She begins to weave her web of deceit, pretending to befriend Akpalu while secretly reporting back to Kofi. The businessman's eyes light up at the news, and he makes it clear that Ezenam will be rewarded handsomely for her loyalty. But Akpalu is not one to be fooled easily. He senses that something is amiss, and begins to suspect that Ezenam is hiding a dark secret. As tensions rise between them, the villagers start to take notice of the strange occurrences. There's talk of treasure hunters descending upon Damango, their faces shrouded in shadows. The chief, bribed by Kofi's money, grows increasingly restless as his people begin to resist the outsider's offers. The air is thick with tension, and Akpalu finds himself caught between two worlds. Those who want to exploit the treasure for themselves, and those who will fight to protect their way of life. As Akpalu tries to make sense of it all, Ezenam's true intentions become clear. She has been playing him like a fiddle, using her charms to get close to the treasure while secretly serving Kofi's interests. The thought sends Akpalu into a tailspin of anger and hurt, but he refuses to give up. In a bold move, Akpalu decides to take matters into his own hands, hiding the treasure in a secret location and refusing to share it with anyone, not even Ezenam. But as he turns to leave, he's confronted by Kofi's men, who've tracked him down in a desperate bid to get their hands on the loot. The situation spirals out of control, with the villagers caught in the crossfire. Akpalu finds himself facing off against the very people he trusted most, including some of his own kin. The outcome is far from certain, and as the dust settles, one thing becomes clear. The treasure has become a powder keg, waiting to explode. As the night wears on, Akpalu makes his escape, leaving behind a trail of destruction and uncertainty. He knows that he's made an enemy of Kofi, Ezenam, and possibly even some of his own people. But for now, he'll keep the treasure safe, hidden away in a place where no one will ever find it. Or so he thinks. The night air is thick with tension as Akpalu flees into the darkness, leaving behind a trail of destruction and chaos in his wake. His heart pounds in his chest, and his mind reels with the thought of facing Kofi's men again. He knows that he's made an enemy of the wealthy businessman, but he's determined to protect the treasure at all costs. As he navigates through the winding streets of Damango, Akpalu's thoughts turn to Ezenam. He can't shake off the feeling that she's been playing him all along. Why did she pretend to befriend him if her true intentions were so sinister? And what drove her to betray him like this? Akpalu quickens his pace, his eyes scanning the shadows for any sign of danger. He knows that Kofi's men will stop at nothing to get their hands on the treasure. As he approaches the edge of the village, he notices a figure watching him from the darkness. It's a young woman with piercing green eyes and jet black hair. She's dressed in a flowing white robe, and her presence seems both captivating and unnerving. Akpalu feels a shiver run down his spine as she beckons him to follow her. Without hesitation, Akpalu trails behind the mysterious woman, who leads him deep into the jungle. The air grows thick with humidity, and the sounds of the village fade into the distance. They walk for hours, the only sound being the rustling of leaves and the distant call of a bird. Finally, they reach a clearing surrounded by towering trees. In the center of the clearing stands an ancient temple, its stones covered in moss and vines. The mysterious woman approaches the temple, her eyes gleaming with an otherworldly intensity. "This is the temple of the ancients," she whispers, her voice barely audible over the rustling leaves. Here lies the key to unlocking the secrets of Damango. Al's curiosity is piqued as he follows the woman into the temple. The air inside is stale and musty, and the walls are adorned with intricate carvings that seem to tell a story of their own. As they navigate through the temple, Akpalu begins to realize that this place holds more than just ancient secrets. It seems to hold a power that could change the course of his life forever. The mysterious woman leads him to a large stone pedestal, upon which rests a small leather-bound book. She opens the book, revealing pages filled with strange symbols and diagrams. "This is the Chronicle of Damango," she explains, her voice dripping with reverence. "It holds the secrets of our village's past, as well as the location of the treasure." Akpalu's eyes widen as he realizes the significance of this discovery. He knows that he must protect this book at all costs, but he also knows that Kofi will stop at nothing to get his hands on it. As they leave the temple, Akpalu is confronted by a group of shadowy figures lurking in the underbrush. They're armed to the teeth and seem to be waiting for him. The mysterious woman steps forward, her eyes flashing with a fierce intensity. "These are the guardians of the temple," she explains. "They will protect us from those who seek to misuse the secrets within." Akpalu watches in awe as the guardians move into position, forming a circle around them. The air seems to charge with electricity as they prepare for battle. Suddenly, a figure emerges from the shadows, Kofi himself. His eyes gleam with greed as he addresses Akpalu and the mysterious woman. "You fools," he sneers. "You think you can hide something from me? I'll get what's mine, no matter the cost." The guardians move forward, ready to face off against Kofi's men. Akpalu knows that this is just the beginning of a long and treacherous battle. He's determined to protect the treasure and the secrets of Damango, but he's not sure if he'll be able to outwit Kofi. As the two groups clash in a fierce battle, Akpalu finds himself caught between his desire to uncover the truth and his need to protect himself. The outcome is far from certain, and the fate of Damango hangs precariously in the balance. And then, just as it seems like the battle is reaching its climax, a strange noise echoes through the jungle, the sound of drums beating in time with the pounding of Akpalu's heart. It's a sound that seems to come from nowhere and everywhere at once, a sound that fills Akpalu with a sense of foreboding. Suddenly, the mysterious woman vanishes into thin air, leaving Akpalu alone to face Kofi's men. The guardians are scattered, their eyes fixed on something in the distance. Akpalu looks up to see a figure emerging from the jungle, a figure that makes his blood run cold. It's Ezenam, and she's not alone. Akpalu's eyes widen as he sees Ezenam emerging from the jungle, a sinister grin spreading across her face. She's accompanied by two burly men who seem to be armed to the teeth. Kofi's men take advantage of the distraction to launch a fresh attack on the guardians, but they're quickly overwhelmed. Akpalu knows that he must act fast if he wants to save his friends and himself. He charges forward, determined to defend the treasure and the secrets of Damango. Ezenam, however, seems to be enjoying the chaos. She watches, with a mixture of amusement and contempt, as Kofi's men struggle to gain the upper hand, just when it seems like all hope is lost. Akpalu notices that one of the guardians has managed to escape the fray. It's a young woman named Neoma, who had been fighting bravely alongside the others. Akpalu spots an opportunity and calls out to Neoma, ordering her to grab the chronicle and bring it to safety. The guardians quickly regroup and make their way through the jungle, pursued by Kofi's men. As they move deeper into the forest, Akpalu can hear the sound of drums growing louder. It's a beat that seems to be calling to him, drawing him closer to some unknown destiny. The group finally reaches a clearing, where they're met with a sight that takes their breath away. A massive stone statue looms in the center of the clearing, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly energy. Neoma approaches the statue cautiously, sensing that something is not quite right. As she touches the pedestal, the drums fall silent, and an eerie silence falls over the clearing. Suddenly, the air around them begins to distort, as if reality itself is bending to accommodate some unseen force. Akpalu feels a strange energy coursing through his veins, and he knows that something momentous is about to occur. The mysterious woman reappears, her eyes flashing with an intense light. "This is the heart of Damango," she explains, her voice barely above a whisper. "It holds the secrets of our village's past, as well as the key to unlocking its future." As she speaks, the statue begins to glow with an intense, pulsating energy. Akpalu can feel his mind expanding, as if it's being stretched to its limits. And then, just as suddenly as it began, everything goes black. When Akpalu comes to, he finds himself lying on the ground, his head throbbing with pain. The mysterious woman is nowhere to be seen, but Neoma and Kofi's men are scattered around him, looking like they've been through a war. The air is thick with an eerie silence, as if something has been left behind. Akpalu struggles to his feet, determined to uncover the truth about what just happened. As he looks around, he notices that the statue is still glowing, its energy pulsating in time with his own heartbeat. It's as if it's calling to him, drawing him closer to some unknown fate. And then, out of the corner of his eye, he sees a figure watching him from the shadows. It's Esenam, and she seems to be waiting for something or someone. Akpalu knows that he must be careful, but he can't shake off the feeling that he's being pulled towards some unknown destiny. Akpalu's eyes lock onto Esenam's, and he can feel a spark of recognition ignite within him. He knows that she's been playing him all along, using her charm and beauty to manipulate him into doing her bidding. But Akpalu is not one to be underestimated. He takes a step forward, his eyes blazing with determination. "You're not going to get away with this, Esenam," he growls. "I know what you've been doing, and I'm not going to let you ruin Damango's future." Esenam smiles, her eyes glinting with amusement. "Wise, Harlanit, you're too late for that, Akpalu," she says. "The plan is already in motion, and soon the secrets of Damango will be mine to command." Akpalu charges forward, his fists flying as he battles Esenam's henchmen. The fight is intense and chaotic, with punches flying left and right. But Akpalu is undeterred, driven by a fierce determination to protect Damango. As the battle rages on, Neoma takes advantage of the distraction to sneak behind Kofi's men and disarm them. With her help, Akpalu manages to gain the upper hand, pinning Esenam to the ground. But just as it seems like justice will be served, a voice booms from above, echoing through the forest. Enough! It thunders. Akpalu looks up to see the mysterious woman standing on top of the statue, her eyes blazing with an otherworldly energy. The air around her begins to distort, as if reality itself is bending to accommodate her will. "You have meddled in affairs you don't understand," she says, her voice dripping with authority. "The secrets of Damango are not for mortals to wield." Esenam cowers in fear, realizing too late that she has underestimated the power of the mysterious woman. Akpalu, however, stands tall, his eyes locked onto hers. "I think it's time you explained yourself," he says, his voice firm and steady. The mysterious woman nods, a small smile playing on her lips. "Very well," she says. "I am the guardian of Damango, tasked with protecting its secrets from those who would misuse them." She pauses, surveying Akpalu and Esenam before continuing. "You, Akpalu, have shown yourself worthy of the treasure. You have proven your bravery and determination. I will give you a choice. Take the treasure and use it to help Damango prosper, or leave it behind and walk away." Akpalu's eyes widen in shock as he considers her words. He looks over at Esenam, who is cowering in fear. "I choose the first option," Akpalu says finally, his voice firm and resolute. The mysterious woman nods, a small smile playing on her lips. "Then let it be so," she says. "You will find the treasure and use it to bring prosperity to Damango. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility." As she speaks, the statue begins to glow even brighter, its energy pulsating in time with Akpalu's heartbeat. The air around him seems to shimmer, as if reality itself is bending to accommodate his newfound destiny. And then, just as suddenly as it began, everything goes black. When Akpalu comes to, he finds himself standing in front of a massive stone door, adorned with intricate carvings and symbols. The mysterious woman stands beside him, a small smile playing on her lips. "This is the entrance to the treasure chamber," she says. "You have been given a great gift, Akpalu. Use it wisely." Akpalu nods, his heart pounding in his chest. He pushes open the door, revealing a room filled with gold and jewels beyond his wildest dreams. But as he reaches out to claim his reward, he is met with a shocking sight. Neoma, standing in front of him with a look of concern etched on her face. "Akpalu, wait," she says. "I think I've made a mistake." Akala's eyes widen in surprise as he realizes the truth. The treasure was never the goal. It was the journey itself that had changed him. And now, as he looks at Neoma, he knows that there is another path to follow, one that will lead him to a new destiny. And so, with a newfound sense of purpose, Akpalu sets off on his next adventure, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. Years went by, and Akpalu became known as the savior of Damango. He used the treasure to bring prosperity and peace to the village, but he never forgot about Neoma, who had changed everything for him. They got married and started a new journey together. Asanam, on the other hand, was banished from the village, her dark magic unable to penetrate the powerful energies that protected Damango. She wandered the world, seeking redemption, but it seemed like an impossible task. The mysterious woman who had been watching over Akpalu since his childhood disappeared into thin air, leaving behind only a small note with a cryptic message. The journey is never truly over, for there are always new paths to explore. And so, the story of Akpalu and Damango came to an end, but the legend lived on, inspiring generations to come. The treasure was never found again, but its power continued to shape the village and its people, a reminder that true prosperity comes not from material wealth, but from the connections we make with others and the journey we take in life.